everybody, welcome to this episode of It's Your Birthday, the only podcast that can disappear for a straight month and then, come back maybe the same as before. I wouldn't say better than ever, but hey, life is a highway and sometimes it'll ride your ass right into the guardrail. So we're here as always. I'm Kelly Workman, your host. This is Christian Langton, my co-host. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Doing the finger guns, what cool guys do.
That is what cool guys do.
Cool guys really like doing, somebody's cool when they walk up to you and they start, from the hip doing the, pya, pya,
Yeah.
That's how you know you got a real cool customer on your hands.
Yeah, cool guys are sick when they enter the room like fucking Pee Wee Herman. What were you doing?
Going like this,
Oh, okay.
Very jazzy, very happy to be here. Happy that I'm not under 12 feet of snow anymore, and that happened a month ago, dude. Life is
that was
fucking
yeah.
Like you said, life is a highway. I guess is the best way
ride
to
you,
put
brother. Yeah, it was. We've had some ups and doozy whoopsies over the last couple of weeks. We lost power for about a full week out here in the DFW, the greater DFW area, and then had outside of that, there's that. I started working again in the interim and all this, which has been really fun. Also had a relative pass away, so that was also exciting. Had to take a trip for that. I won't say exciting is not the right word. It was great to see everybody, but it is, it was.
Yeah, I understand the irony.
No bummers. That's really the course I'm trying to take is no bummers. But yeah, so there was that, and I think there was two other happenstances on my end that also came up in that time. Can't really remember. There's been a gosh-a-pon of just fun, random events.
Stick the coin in, turn
Fortnight.
the crank, and you just get some terrible life event come out of the capsule. I feel
you see on the machine that all the prize options are stuff you do want, sticky hands and what have you, and then you get a small gerbils turd in the can. You go, well, this wasn't even an option, and turns out it is.
Put this in there.
Turns out, who put a small animal's fecal matter in this kid's machine, and they did. It was awesome.
Every time somebody talks about gachapons, I know that that's a Japanese word, but the capsules that you get used to get them at gas stations everywhere, but CC's Pizza and shit. You get the little toy. The ones I remember.
You talking about homies?
Of course I'm talking about homies.
Yeah, I was about to say, the Japanese ones were sick, where it was just video game characters and small food items and really cool shit, and then the American ones were just Hispanic gangsters for some reason. It was really strange. I got nothing against that group, but it was just really weird that in a Kroger you could go get a sticky hand or a small thug. It was just really weird. I don't quite know what our culture was about at that time.
I think we went down a rabbit hole off the show about these at one point.
Oh, I'm sure we've done that. Yeah, I'm sure we have. Because, homies are in our hearts.
Yeah. Who can forget homies, dude? They're the coolest little toys.
Who can forget the homies?
And look, they had a return or renaissance at some point. Those aren't the homies I remember.
They must have had
a
surging renaissance because that stock was sold out, brother. So that means somebody really bought up all the homies they could get.
I gotta turn on the large pictures because I just don't want. All of these are tiny, terrible photos, and then you click it and it's hey, do you want to sign up for a Pinterest account?
Dude,
no,
you'll never. Here's the thing. If you go to a link on Pinterest, dude, that's a great Knuckles plush you were looking at. If you go to Pinterest, you'll never get what you want. It'll never take you to the place you want to go or the image you're looking at. It's terrible. Yeah. I liked it. Who is this guy in the back left there?
You talking about
what's
the
his deal?
Or
no, I'm talking about my brethren.
I thought you were talking about the rapist detective in the very far back.
I'm talking about Quasi Cholo over there, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Fuck that, dude. I would not be surprised if that was the real name of that character.
It's gotta be. It's too good. If they didn't come up with it, then bruh, I'll take a new job. I'll make homies toys all day. Here's the thing about these that I like to think. Also, fucking this old man's walking stick is insane. He's got like a giant bent cigarette as his walking stick. This dude up front. And okay, and again, this is also weird, but who's excited to get the delivery driver? Like, oh, that guy's just bringing. That's the UPS dude. I love that. That's who I like. That's my homie.
I like Tiptoes back there. He's pretty cool.
I guess. There's also the guy in front of Quasicholo. This dude is like super depressed. He's like just bummed out. Like I like what a weird toy.
I love these.
I think the thing I love about them the most is like the idea that someone keeps these homies in their like a homie in their pocket and just like that's their confidant or their guy that they go to for advice or to talk to. They like pull out their little homie and they're like, man, having a bad day today. And he's like, don't worry, Holmes. Everything's greener on the other side, Holmes.
Yeah, you just have them on display in your house, and when you leave, it's like Toy Story, and you have like a little Mario in your house.
Hey, fool, you got to turn lemons into lemonade, fool. And they're like, thanks, little homie. You put it back in your pocket.
Yeah, and these are the things that I've graduated to from homies. Dude, I love these little things. I have so many of them.
What am I looking at?
So they're called Smiskies, and like apparently it's based on like Japanese folklore of little fairy creatures or whatever, or little spirits that like help you in your house when you're not there.
I see. So isn't that sort of like that one what Spirited Away or whatever? Aren't those little guys? Those like
kinda.
I think it's that movie. I can't remember.
Yeah. So like you get a different little dude in a different pose, and I got a whole count of them.
Can we go back up a little bit? One more. Okay, so what is the task the guy giving you the goatsy is doing? What is his household ghost task?
He's just being goofy. He's the cool goofy one. I'm sure he's helpful and useful.
If his face had any other expression on it, I could maybe believe that, but he's very adamant about showing you his asshole, and he's like not even super stoked about that. It's almost like you forced him into this life.
Yeah.
So is this the Japanese equivalent of like a meeseeks? Like
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
That's from what I gather. I looked them up because I bought one at like a Japanese market, and I was like, these are cute, and then I kept buying them.
Here's the thing about these, and I hate to say this, and I mean no offense, but only a little bit of offense. These do straight up seem like a toy if you work in an office. That seems like the expression everyone in the office has if they work in an office is that face, like, here we go again, doing this task. Just
yeah. Hey, you don't have to dig too deep into my everyday.
I'm not trying to. That's why I said I meant only some offense, only a mild amount of offense.
Yeah,
hey,
just
dude,
a little bit.
At least at your job, you don't have to call the police like I had to yesterday. That's why we didn't record yesterday. I guess I didn't even tell you.
No, you were just like, hey, man, work was ass, and I need sleep. And then
it was really dumb. So I'll give you the quick breakdown without any locations and or names. But yeah, so basically what happened is some lady got her purse stolen, right, off of a table out front, like as they were eating, because this lady was like 75, so it was like her and her super old husband. Somebody just runs up and grabs their purse and just leaves, which I've worked there for 5 years. That's never happened. Like, it never has that happened. Yeah. Has anyone... Because I would even, when I would be in my off days or whatever, I would just leave my iPad and go to the bathroom or whatever and come back, whatever. Like I said, it has never happened. As that's happening, though, we had to call the police. It took them like an hour and 45 minutes to get there, which is already extreme. And then there was like, this is also with us and the other store and someone else. There was 3 people that called the police, and it took them an hour and a half to get there after 3 different phone calls from 3 different people to the same exact location. Yeah. As they're there, though, we get our first... because we dealt with that for like 45 minutes trying to console this lady and getting all that figured out. And then as that's happening, some guy walks in the front door and we're like, hey, man, you got to wear a mask. And he's like, governor said I don't have to. I'm not going to do it. And we're like, well, you have to because it's a private business, so we're still following the mandate. And he's like, nope, not gonna do it. And we're like, okay, well then you can't come in the store. And he's like, who's stopping me? And we're like, Jesus Christ, man. I was like, they're going to as soon as you get in there because you can't buy anything. They're not gonna serve you. You can't do anything. We're not going to serve you either without one. So what do you want? And he's like, up in our one of the other store's employees. In his face, bowing up, doing
He's
this.
He's doing the chest rubbing bullshit.
Well, like he starts doing the coolest move ever by just looking the guy up and down over and over again. And this guy's like 65, and like, but he's got like a belt holster for a gun. I can't tell if he has one in it or not, but he definitely has one. Yeah. And he's just like eyeing him up and then standing there. He's like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it?" And it's like, "What are you gonna do? We're not doing anything for you, dude. Like you can't." You can come in the building and then do nothing because that's where we stop. And then he's like, I'm not wearing. He's like, you know what? Give me a mask. And I was like, okay, we will. You got to go through the front of the building and into the other entrance and we'll get you one. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. And just keeps walking into the store. And we're like, Jesus Christ, dude. And then, of course, gets escorted out again. And so as that's happening, I have to go find that guy that he was bowing up to me like, hey, man, the police have just showed up for this other lady. If you want to talk to him about this guy, because he seems like he's about to be a problem. And no shit, that guy is just standing next to the police waiting to talk to them and complain about us not letting him in there for that. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me, man. And so then I get that other manager, and then there's just like words exchanged out front to a varying degree. And then the police literally are doing nothing. Like, until the employees from the other store that they're hindering the purse investigation, even though there's 2 police officers there talking to one old woman an hour and 45 minutes after her purse was stolen. So I'll tell you, gone. It's gone. And like, so it's just this, it was just a shit show. Like it was just a complete shit show. The funniest thing though, is some older couple that they were talking to in that time, found the person, brought it back to her that was like left at a street corner down the road. Cause it's a very obnoxious purse that she had. No offense to this lady, but it's a very obnoxious purse. But they found it and brought it back. It was completely empty, obviously, but they did find it. So it was like, and also the other store we're next to, only this guy helped us. The rest of it, nobody was to be found. So it's like, and I'll say also, this is completely off topic and a huge rant, but I had to get it out. Yeah. Like they had a company meeting about this stuff because we used to have a police officer in the building at all times and they stopped having that. And since then it's been bananas because people have realized, oh, there's no one here anymore. And, so they had a meeting about that like a week ago and they were like, here's what you guys do. You know, you get to us, you call the police first, then you get to us and then we'll call the police and we'll do an instant report, whatever, which is not what happened even remotely. But 3 days before that, I saw 6 employees for 4 hours straight trying to catch a small canary in the store. So they got all the time and task and workforce to do that. But when something actually happens to their customers, there's nowhere to be found except for one guy who is, I commend him. He's always been super cool with us. And just a great dude all around. But it was just, it was just this consistent thing. On top of all that though, I just have to say, Gregory Abbott, you suck, dude. You have empowered a laundry list of dumbasses. This is what it said. I forgot. This is what that guy said while he was in the store. He said, "You guys rent this space. You can't tell me what to do." And I was like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "It's not." Mention that. I put that in the Discord. Yeah. Yeah. But I was like, because I was thinking about it after the fact, after like all is settled down. I was like, wait, what does that even mean? Like, I don't understand what you could possibly mean by we rent this space. I can't tell you anything, even though someone from our other store that we're attached to is literally standing right there telling you can't go in their building either. And my employee are also telling us that you can't go in this building that you're already in. And, and it's like, what is that? I was like, what do you mean you can't if we rent it? I was like, I can't just go break into somebody's house or walk right in their front door and go, hey, man, you rent this place. So
yeah, fuck you, buddy. Brother. You're breaking fucking proto, mine. Buddy.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you lost your fucking job, dude. You fucking son of a bitch.
Oh, you fucking rent.
This is America, you dumb son of a bitch. You're not following proto. Dude. You're fucking done. I should have said that. I'd be like, I'm a CI double agent, you dumb motherfucker.
That's the thing, though. Like, so much dumb shit has happened. I mean, I was in a wreck like last week. That was a great time.
Yep.
Yeah, the snow, just crippling anxiety all around. But hey, video games. That's all I gotta say.
Stimmies, baby.
Well, eventually for me, because that still has not happened. That is still not
sure
on the books for me. And,
that's fair. That's fair.
It sucks. It sucks so
I'm
bad.
just,
but we'll get there.
I get lucky because I'm very anal about my taxes. I do them as soon as they appear. As soon as there is a W-2, I'm stopping everything and getting that boy in there.
Just get the fuck and get it out of the way. Just,
well, both my parents are accountants, so it's like, well, my mom and my stepdad are both accountants, so at a point, I've been trained to.
It's just in your blood, yeah.
It's in my bloodstream. I got that number crunching in my genes, boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, that's not why we're here. That's not why we came. That's not why I come.
No,
I'm here for video games.
Whatever makes you come is pretty cool. What makes you come here anyway to do this show? Not the other gross thing. That's very cool.
Well, nothing can do that. Nothing will ever make me actually be able to finish because I'm too strong. I'm too strong-willed. I don't let it happen.
Well, speaking of finishing,
I stop it before it starts. Yeah.
I guess that was a good segue. I don't know.
Fuck. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But do we ever have them though? Realistically, because we really don't.
There's never been a time where I'm like, "Fuck, that was a really good one." Sometimes
that was
it's
an
just
awesome segue that time. Yeah.
Never happened.
Let's just start at the top and go ahead and give me some good news. Your boy was right.
Right.
And I would love to believe that this a top excuse that I'm seeing right here. Austin studio director says that COVID-19 pandemic has made further work impossible. I don't think that's true. I don't think that is the reason that Anthem has not done well. I love that that's the excuse because it definitely, I'm sure, hindered it. But to say that that's the only reason, I think is a little bit of a lie, a little white lie right there.
So many companies, and it's obvious that the pandemic has fucked a lot of shit up. But you got all these other companies you don't release Valheim in the middle of a pandemic, and that game's great. Yakuza Like a Dragon, but these things were being developed alongside or before. At the same time, it's
also Anthem had a good bit of time before this to cook. Before any of this happened, so I don't think, like I said, it seems a little sus. I think EA is coming out of the vents on that one, and I think that they're kind of pulling a little bit of we got the perfect excuse, which is I'm sure not going to play with anybody. But
I just don't know why they couldn't have just said hey. Even if this was a lie, be hey, we appreciate the people that stuck around, but we're just not seeing the numbers of interest. We're not seeing people very interested in this property, so we're going to shelve Anthem as a property for now. Maybe we revisit it down the line, but Anthem as we know it right now is done.
What's crazy is there is still stuff. I am in the Anthem Reddit, and there's still posts on that sub every single day. It's not I don't either, because there's no content. I don't know how that's possible, but there's still people doing it. I guess people that are super obsessed with Iron Man, I don't know, but it is. Well, like we were saying 6 months ago, whenever we talked about this, it's that thing where there's no way they could bring it back. There's no way you can't redeem the bad will towards this game that's already happened and the amount of time that's happened in between it. It almost feels like they knew it was terrible going out of the gate, and then we're we're dedicated to fixing this, and it's but what I mean is, please don't return this game right now. We'll give you a better game, and then we're psych, got that.
Yeah.
Ooh, got it. Now, not to say that they're that greedy, at least the company working on it, I guess it was BioWare.
But I mean, they're EA's got their hand up that puppet pretty far.
They do got their nuts in a vice at this point. So what is Anthem doing? Oh, Dragon Age 4, right? Dude, that was the craziest thing too. And I'm sure we talked about this before. But that last what was it? I think it was at not I was about to say at EB Games, but at E3 when they're like, ooh, and we're announcing Dragon Age 4, and it was like really strange like prototype clips from the game, like of like mechanics that have not even really been put in, like with all gray backgrounds and stuff, like in a test lab. It was the strangest thing. I was like, why even show this? Like,
well, the other weird thing about
don't bother.
Dragon Age is that like a part of this news was they were like, yeah, we're also scrapping our live service plans for Dragon Age, and I didn't even know that was going to be a live service game. But at the same time, it's like,
I didn't either.
Yeah, why the fuck would it ever have been that? Like, it's a like Dragon Age is a quintessential. Yeah, but after Anthem, like I'm sure. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Just a very.
I mean, look, there's a lot of bad games that have money that you can spend on them, and people do it. So I get it. Like, and people love. They have a lot. I guess they have a lot of goodwill with Dragon Age still. I don't know. So I don't know what they have anymore. BioWare, it's such a weird company now. Like honestly, like once this Mass Effect remaster comes out, and if it's bad, I think I'm good on them as a company. I think that's kind of it for me. Like I don't, because I didn't love Dragon Age, like the most recent one. It wasn't bad by any means. I liked a fair bit of it, but it did get, I don't know, very repetitive, I guess would be. I don't know if it was repetitive or what. It was just like something felt off on it. It wasn't quite enough action. It wasn't quite enough turn-based. It was like this weird interim of a game. I just didn't quite like the way it played.
I was never really in it. And then like Inquisition came out and people were like, oh, that's like, people were like halfway on that game, it seemed at the time. And then like everybody was like, Origins is like the really good one. And I went and played Origins and it's fine. It's all right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The other thing is that like the funny thing about that announcement, or one of the funny parts about that announcement to me, is that they were like, we're shifting focus at BioWare to assisting on the next Dragon Age. We're also going to be working on the next Mass Effect, and we're still going to be working on content for the Old Republic. And I was like, okay, so more people are playing the Old Republic than they were Anthem. That says
absolutely,
something.
Dude. Well. It doesn't, I guess, because Old Republic's been around for quite a while. It also worked pretty well out of the gate, that game already, and it's Star Wars. So everybody's horny for Star Wars when they can get it. And honestly, as an MMO, it's pretty good. Like, it's really...
It's fine,
It's basically... It's honestly, it's World of Warcraft in space. It's like, it plays very similar to that game with some tweaks and stuff. And
I liked the story stuff. It's just like every time it comes up in like news or topic, I'm just like, fuck, people are still playing that. Like, cause I think about when I like really was into it. Like I subbed to it like last year to give it a roll, cause like some big update came out and it seemed pretty cool. And they made it like easier to just like mainline through some of the story content.
I think, my biggest gripe with that game is like I had bought a copy of that game, and then when they went free to play, they basically stripped your account if you weren't subscribed of like the stuff that you got. Because certain stuff became level or account locked based on like what you'd paid for, what you'd done, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, and I don't know if this was everybody, but I definitely had certain stuff. It was like if I had a character that already had it, it was fine. If I made a new character that didn't have it, like it was locked behind that, and you had to pay to get it. And I was like, well, this sucks.
That's weird. Yeah.
Because I've already, like, and it made me like, well, I'm only going to play this character because the other shit I have to pay money to have, so I don't want to do that. And yeah, that was always really strange. But the game itself is fine. I think it's also that debate, like with the Dragon Age, it's sort of the Elder Scrolls Fallout debate where it's like medieval fantasy stuff just doesn't do anything for me. Like Witcher is about it the best I can get it, and I'm still
what about
not like
the Elder Scrolls. I mean, because
I don't like them.
Okay, yeah, that's
they're
fine.
boring. They're boring as shit, and the combat's bad. Like it's just at least in the earlier Fallouts, like the world and the stories they were telling were more interesting to me because the apocalypse sounds more interesting. All the stories are really like weird, kind of twists on the human condition, I guess. Whereas like Elder Scrolls, I don't know, just it's a personal bias, but it's the same thing with like zombie games. I don't give a fuck about them. I don't really care about medieval games either because there's too many of them. Yeah, I've probably seen what you're trying to do already, either better or whatever. It's like And like I said, The Witcher's probably the best of the bunch. Like the story is super entertaining. The combat's like not amazing, but it's better than most of the other ones.
The Witcher's less of like a focus on the world and setting. Like it's a character game. Like that's a straight up character game, I think.
Well, and
that's what really makes it. Yeah.
And we're gonna get on the same thing again, but that's the same defense I have with Cyberpunk. Is like it's a game where you're this person and you're deciding what happens to them rather than defining who you are. You're sort of defining what makes this person who he is rather than I'm this new whatever. And with that, I think that's the better way to tell stories because you can filter more in. Well, one, it's easier to do, I think, than trying to give multi-tiered choice options a thing. I mean, if you look at Mass Effect, I mean, it's less so, but it's still like the same idea. It's like a character game. Like you're like, I'm Shepard, and here's the choices I made defining who Shepard is. Not like, Shepard is this. I mean, I guess there's. I think in that one there's definitely more leniency because of the way that you can build a character or some of the decisions you make or whatever.
Well, don't
Mass
get me wrong,
Effect is great, but.
I really liked my time with Cyberpunk, and then also like I played the Street Kid like prologue recently, and like I was like, "Fuck, man! I really like I don't know." They were supposed to come up with a patch this month. They got hacked, and all that shit happened. I think we talked about that. Right, we did.
Yeah, I think we briefly did. Yeah.
But it's supposed to like you got a week left, dude. I'm like, I was playing it, and then I get through the prologue, and I was like, "Fuck!" I remember like the first several hours of this game were like a great experience, and I want them to keep improving on that game because
I'd like to start a second playthrough. I would like to see it again because I started a Street Kid one as well for like a minute as the female voice actor because I wanted to hear what she was like because I heard she was better.
That's the one I'm playing as. Yeah, that's how
I like the male one though. Honestly, like it fit his character, especially I guess maybe because he was a I don't know, Desert Rat or whatever it is, Outlander. I can't remember the name they use. But it fit a little more with that, I guess.
Nomad, yeah.
Nomad, there we go. So yeah, I want to try the Street Kid one just to see. But yeah, I'm waiting on the patch also because it's it's still in the same state it was. I mean, like I said, my playthrough was fine, but I could definitely use. I did. I did get it on to check out this monitor because you boys are now ultra wide boys. Yeah. We've joined the Legion.
Huge ass screens.
And I was driving a car and had a car come straight through the cement and hit me when I was driving around, and I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, we're still here. Which honestly though, that never really happened when I was playing the actual game proper. Just when I was driving around for no reason, it happened. So it was really strange.
It's so sparse because, a lot of people you talk to, like, I didn't have any problems. But then, like, people like me, it's like, I don't know, like, what voodoo fucking god, like, cursed my fucking install. But, like, especially, like, the final hours of that game were, like, some of the most broken I'd ever experienced. And that's what I think. Like, I was ready to go into our discussion about it, like, fucking amped about it. Because I was, you and I were texting.
Yeah,
back
you
and
were
forth.
really enjoying it. And then it was just like, you fell off a cliff. Like, something just happened and it shifted completely. Because I remember you really, really digging it.
Yeah. It was the final hours of that game. It was just every single, like, terrible bug, animation, like, game-breaking things. There were times I had to roll back saves. Like, it was... Anyway, I don't want to get way too into that because I'm into buggy games. I'm fine with that. Whatever.
I'm with you. It was, I think when I was writing the review for it, it was that thing of like, it's like, it just has, if you could think of a bug for a game to have, I bet you could find it. Like, it's just, it's some I've never seen before in a game, some I've seen, but to lesser degrees or whatever, but it really is astonishing. Like, if there was an award for most variants of bugs in games, they would win it because I've never seen this, like, just this varying degree of bugs. Like, it's crazy how many that are in there. Well, that being said, like, again, as always, I still loved it. But we can move on. We've talked about Cyberpunk 8 million times.
Speaking of buggy games, do you want to play Skyrim on Game Pass? Do you want to play Oblivion on Game Pass?
I gotta say, you had a good transition because you could have talked about Nier right there, because that was the whole thing. Is it was really buggy.
We can roll.
We
into
can wrap
that
it in
after.
because it does sort of come. It ties in with Game Pass, I guess. Really.
Yeah, for sure. They did finalize the Bethesda sale. It was like all approved legally in like the EU and like other trade commissions and stuff. But yeah, they're totally.
Everybody said you guys can have each other. That's fine.
Y'all can go kiss. It's totally okay with us in Europe. Their $7.5 billion fucking deal went through, which it's crazy because like they had to have the cannons ready and loaded for when this was happening because the day that the sale was finalized, a bunch of fucking games came out.
Oh, I'm sure. Pass. Yeah. Why not? I mean, why not? It's a great announcement drop. I mean, like I said, dude, Phil Spencer handles this shit really well. And I wish there was a photo of him and Todd Howard just kissing because that's all we're really asking for is for Phil Spencer and Todd Howard to just give each other big old wet ones.
Yeah, I want to see that.
But I mean that's awesome. EA Play is on the PC now, also for the Game Pass. I don't know if that just happened because I didn't see it like yesterday or the day before, but now all the EA games are on there as well. But you still have to fucking download Origin. You cannot just download it to the goddamn Xbox app. You have to go through Origin to make it work.
That is incredibly stupid.
EA, dude, they just can't get their fucking peener out of stuff. Like, it's insane. Yeah. And it's time to stop, EA. Where everybody's tired of it. Nobody asked you to do it in the first place. And also, most of your games are bad. Like, I don't know. Most of your games are bad. I kind of want to play one of the Need for Speeds because I want to check out another racing game on this big wide boy, but your games are bad. Oh, actually, I might play through A Way Out. Because I still have not played that. Maybe Jack and I can do that. I will say, to that end, you can now play Anthem on Game Pass for PC. So
hey, now's the time to play a dead fucking video game if that's what you so desire.
Oh, Squadrons is on there though, so you can check that out. If I don't know, I guess it would have VR support. I don't know.
It does. So that's the cool thing. Like, I'm actually about to change my windows on Discord and show you Game Pass because I have it up right now.
Whoa.
Let me know if you can see that a business.
Yeah, I can see it.
EA Play, they got a bunch of shit on there, but the way it works, so I actually have like Tetris Effect on Game Pass, and when you launch it, it's straight up like, hey, do you want to launch in a VR mode? And you say, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
That's okay. That's what the Epic version does. Also, the Epic Store one, it does the same thing.
Yeah. I was just gonna quickly go through the Bethesda games that were added.
Yeah. I'll do it for you. All of them.
A bunch of them. It's weird. There's some interesting omissions, but it's a majority of them.
Hunted, it probably isn't on there. The Demon's Forge or whatever that game was. Hunted the Demon's Forge.
Dude, that game was at QuakeCon, and I have a T-shirt of that
I
game.
bought that game at QuakeCon. It was like $10.
Oh no shit!
And physical copy of it. I have it somewhere over there. But yeah, I remember because it didn't look that bad, and it wasn't that bad. Like it was just didn't really. I don't know why it exists. It wasn't like a bad game. There was just really no need for it. It was just one of those come and go games.
Yeah, so we got Doom 93, Doom 3, Doom 64. They don't have Final Doom or anything, which is interesting. They also don't have Doom 2016. It's just Eternal, and I think it's because they're wanting you to kind of play Eternal. Also missing is I think New Vegas is missing. I think
because that's not theirs. I think that's Obsidian's.
Yeah, well,
I think they just published it, as far as I know.
Well, also Obsidian's owned by Microsoft now, so it's like,
let's all
bring that together. Wolfenstein
strange.
2 isn't here.
See,
Evil
sucks,
Within 2 is not here. Just a couple weird omissions, but I think eventually it'll all get there.
Wolfenstein 2 is a weird one because that game actively goes on sale for like $12. So I don't know why they would just not leave it on there, like put it on the Game Pass because it's cheap already. Like they're selling it for really cheap, so I don't know why. Yeah, I just don't know. That's a weird one.
But
Dishonored 2, Dishonored and Prey, though, all very good. Actually, wait, is the first Dishonored on there? Yeah,
yeah, I actually started playing Dishonored, the first one. Yeah, the definitive edition. I played probably like an hour of it, 2 hours the other night.
Still the best stealth game to exist.
It's damn good. It's a damn good. And
really
I played
good.
a bunch of it when it came out. I just kind of fell off of it, but I'm willing to go back because I heard Dishonored 2 is actually pretty good as well.
It's really neat. They do some neat stuff, and the world is actively way more gorgeous. Like, it's just way more detailed.
Is the girl in Dishonored 2, like the woman in Dishonored 2, is she the girl from the beginning of Dishonored, Ashley or whatever?
She's the kid. She's the queen's child, yeah.
Okay.
Evelyn, I believe is her name. Yeah, it's great too. Yeah, because both those play styles are pretty different too, between Evelyn and Corvo. And there's this sick ass time mechanic later on that's just such a neat thing to see. Because you basically you have, it's like this heart with a bunch of broken glass over it. But when you open the broken glass, it shows you like either the past or present version of the world or the area you're in currently. So as you're walking through it, you see like either the rundown version of it or the beautiful one, and you can jump between them to like assassinate people that are in whatever world. Like you're basically hiding behind the seams of a world to come out of it and kill people, and then like it's super sick. Like that
is pretty cool.
And they also I think they got an award or something. They got a lot of recognition, but there's this clockwork mansion that you go in that just constantly shifts and changes as you're going through it. It's sick. That game is great. Like I hope they get to do a third one because that game was fantastic. They're both great.
I mean, Arcane, the sky's the limit for those guys. I mean, Deathloop looks fantastic. It looks like very reminiscent of Dishonored.
Deathloop, yeah.
But
it really does. It looks like a 70s psychedelic Dishonored, which I'm totally cool with. Let me play that game, please. Let me play that game.
Yeah,
I'll pay for it. I'll give them money if they want. Shit, does that mean we're gonna get Deathloop on this fucking day and date?
No, because they still have the PS4 or PlayStation exclusivity deal, so they're still sticking with that. Like, they're not going to fuck the Sony over on that. But I wonder if when Deathloop does make it to other consoles, it will hit Game Pass day and date.
Because it's on the Steam store already. I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me see. Like, obviously not released, but
I mean, it might be console exclusive to PlayStation for a bit. I don't know what the details are there, but I do know that it's like.
Sony, dude, it says May 2021. So on the Steam page anyway.
Yeah.
So that's ooh. I mean, hey, dude, we're getting Outsiders on the Game Pass, so
that's only console Game Pass. That's not coming to PC Game Pass.
Bullshit.
I'm deadly serious. It's the most weird thing. Like,
well, now I have another reason to not play that game at all. So that's fine.
I wonder if it was strategic because like maybe they got like a majority of their pre-orders on PC, and so it's like, well, fuck, we can't release free there because we'll piss too many people off. We'll piss the 5 people off that pre-ordered it on Xbox.
It's disgusting. They're disgusting. It's a terrible. It's not a good game. I'll tell you right now, it's not a good game.
I like Bethesda. Like, even outside of Bethesda proper, because I know that like people have opinions on like them as a developer, but everything around it, Arcane, like all of the studios involved within Bethesda, like QuakeCon, like all that shit, like I'm just like super into it, and you know I hope that they do well as a company, and I think Xbox or Microsoft's a good fit for them.
I think so too. I think they're a better publisher than they are a developer, to be completely honest at this point.
Yeah.
But I think they're a good talent scout for interesting games, like RPG style games, or not RPG style. I guess every game's an RPG at this point. I don't know what I'm saying, but I do like. Like I said, I like all the stuff outside. Like, I think Doom's great. I absolutely love Dishonored and Prey. I thought Rage 2 had its faults, but it was pretty decent. And then I wish they would do better with Fallout and that stuff. So I'm just like I said, I like them as a publisher, but their in-house stuff is always like a little bit of a letdown.
That's why I really want to see what Starfield is, and I really want to see like what they do with another Elder Scrolls. Because if they take criticism to heart, and I hope that they can, is that like they'll make those games like wildly different than they've developed games before. That's my hope.
Here's what I think Starfield is. I think Starfield is it's a first person action game of you on a space station playing Skyrim on a TV screen in space.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Why not? It's a way of releasing Skyrim for $60 another time, or $70 since we're on new consoles, so you can squeeze $70 out of Skyrim.
Dude, I was talking about it with Tyler, and I was like, dude, they're 100% going to re-release Skyrim for next gen. Like, that's gonna happen.
Oh, did they not already do it?
No, they haven't done it yet. But they did release.
Actually,
Skyrim on Game Pass is the special edition, which you can play that already backwards compatibility on the other consoles. But I think like Starfield will come out. They'll say like, "Hey, Elder Scrolls is still a few years away." So they do one of two things, in my opinion. They say, "Hey, here's Skyrim for next gen consoles," or here's like an entire Elder Scrolls anthology for consoles where they've done some work to the games to modernize them a bit. I don't know. Maybe.
Here's what well, it depends. Do the ones does the console version already work? Is it one that qualifies as backwards compatible?
Yeah. And you make a good point, because the other part of this is that on consoles, select games that were added have like a new FPS boost feature, and like Fallout 76, Fallout 4, Skyrim.
Yeah, Fallout 4 now finally hits 30 frames. That's awesome. Like, that's great on a system capable of 8K that a 1080p game can fucking hit it. That's cool.
Yeah, hey,
whatever
they can.
That's
get.
What I mean is like I don't know, because one, all I really care about is I really would like Fallout 3 on the Switch. That would be a big for me, or New Vegas. Either one of those would be great. If they could patch 3 to work on modern PCs, that would be really cool. And if they would give people that bought the Skyrim make them pay for the special edition of Skyrim, which is the same game with like better textures, because it's bullshit. And I don't know why they think it's cool that they can just do that. Like, I don't understand. I don't necessarily care. I'm not probably going to play Skyrim again ever, but it is annoying to go, oh, there's a cool new version of this game that you've already paid for and you've sold a bajillion copies of. Can you give us a bone since we already bought your goddamn game?
Yeah. I can't imagine anybody out there who hasn't at least tried Skyrim, but hey, that's on Game Pass if you've ever been on the fence about it. Like, I don't know who's like still like, fuck, maybe I should play Skyrim one day. Like,
if you've ever thought about swinging a sword in 2 directions for 200 plus hours, you have that option. You now have it as a Game Pass holder. You can swing that sword one way.
Or cast a bunch of different divinations of magic. You can do all that too. It's pretty cool.
You can throw a fire and or ice ball if you choose. You can also
summon a ghost.
Mildly heal yourself.
You can cast weapons. There's a bunch of really cool spells and magic in the Elder Scrolls series.
So then you shouldn't play those games if you don't intend to do magic. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, you should play a battle mage. It's the most fun way to play the Elder Scrolls games. 100%.
Okay.
That's my recommendation.
Here's my promise to you. If they ever give us the current version of Skyrim as current game owners, which is only really fair, then that's the other thing is you can't even buy the goddamn DLC for Skyrim if you own that original version. You have to now buy this deluxe one because you cannot get it anymore.
Well, because the legendary thing, like the new edition is like built on it's 64-bit now on PC, and also like they released all the DLCs with that. If you had the DLCs for the original, like if you owned all that content, you did get the special edition for free.
What?
Yeah. So yeah, you got that totally free on PC. But yeah, console players were kind of fucked.
How is that true? Because I definitely didn't.
You had to own I think all of them. If you didn't own like Dragonborn, or if you didn't own like whatever the second one was, the Vampire DLC, and then I don't think you had to own Hearthfire. I don't think you had to own that one.
I don't know. This is frustrating because I one now can't look at the DLC that I do own. Oh wait, yes I can. Okay, I guess I just owned the texture pack, but I also can't buy any of the DLC for it. So if I want to get this game, I have to spend, what is it, $40 to get the complete version of the game again.
Yeah.
And lose all my saves. That's cool. That's awesome. That's a cool
It's
move
very
for them.
neat. It's,
I like
it's
that.
A very
I like
neat
that
feature.
they did that. That's really sick. That's really
Not
sick,
defending
man.
their
That's super
practices
cool.
or anything, because some of it was a little weird, but
I can't believe this game came out. It's hard to believe that this game came out in 2011.
Yeah.
Because we've been hearing about it
minute.
for 10 straight years.
Yeah.
And it's been released, I mean, at least once a year, every year for 10 years.
I guess real quick, while we're on the topic, we wanted to mention this. If you wanted to take this one away, I have it up on the screen now.
What, Doom?
No. This is about the Nier Automata thing.
It still shows me Doom on the Discord.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Here, hold on. I'll switch that for you. Oh, I see, because I'm not showing my browser. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. See that now.
Yeah, basically in another cool move by a publisher, Square put Nier on Game Pass and then on the Windows Store, and have not updated the Steam version of the game, which was this is, I believe, also only $40 or free if you own Game Pass. The Steam version, I'll remind you, was $60 and didn't have any of the DLC, and still doesn't run well at all, or it's terrible. It's like, if you can't full screen that game still, if you full screen it, it puts a half-inch black border around the whole game and then runs it at 720p in that window. Yes. And at the time, I also remember it reporting of people having their monitors get burned out because it was forcing I guess heavy backlight or something to the black around the screen. So it was leaving burn-in in certain monitors and stuff as a result, which is a very cool move. And yeah, they added 4K resolution and stuff like that. It's still locked at 60 frames, which, it's fine for that game. It as long as it's smooth or whatever. But it's fucking frustrating because Square does this a lot where they give you a game and then they never touch it again and then leave it up to modders to actually fix for you. Final Fantasy 15 is another great example of a game that it just runs like shit a lot of times and they just don't care, I guess. I don't know what their what their deal is. It just really doesn't make any sense. And it sucks too because I'm sure that game's good and this one is fantastic. And I would like to play through it again because I'm still one playthrough away, I think, from the full 3 playthrough ending.
That was my thing. I played up until I played for a few hours, and then up until I guess it's the roller coaster section, where you're kind of on this roller coaster, and then you go through and you fight this boss in what looks like a big theater or whatever.
That's not super far in though.
Not super far in, but that's at least a couple hours. But on the roller coaster and up to the boss, the game crashed on me I shit you not 5 times. I had no idea why, no clue. There were several
apparently
people on
Square
Steam.
Doesn't either.
Yeah, they had no idea. They're I crash in the same spot over and over again. No clue why this is happening. Just not fun to deal with. So I gave up on it. But I have the Game Pass version installed. I kind of want to give that a roll tonight before I go to bed and see how that is.
Yeah, it's let me see if I can find Actually, I'll look on here. That'll give me a better idea.
Yeah. What are you looking for? Are you looking for like?
I'm just curious as to, because I have like a browser extension that will give me.
That'll save you money on online products.
Yeah, it'll save you money on car insurance, and if either, I don't know what I'm saying. I made the honey joke too many times. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, let's see. It is.
I still have no clue where you're going with this. I have no idea what you're looking up.
Yeah, the last update for the Steam version was July of 2017. And it says, we have good news for NVIDIA GeForce 780, 780 Ti cards. We've been working hard to address the issue. The screen may turn white during gameplay with the new driver update. If this has fortunately affected you, you're good now. So they updated for a graphics card that's been out for 6 years or more at that time, but nothing for the rest of the game or anything.
It's just a nightmare. I don't know how they released it in that state. And even with the fixes, I had the fixes installed. The FAR mod, I had it all. I watched a whole guide that a friend of mine made on YouTube. Pretty popular video of how to get the game to run pretty good on next gen hardware for PCs, and it still ran like shit. 5 crashes in the same mission over and over. I was done with it.
Well, it's crazy because they also they released the game in Asia on Steam, then they also released DLC for the game on Steam, but they never fixed the fucking game. How do you keep adding shit to a game that doesn't work? You're already in there digging around and fucking getting stuff going. Fix it, motherfucker. Why? It just doesn't make any sense. Or at least address it and go, hey, we can't fix this. We're sorry. We'll give you refunds or whatever. But no, it's and clearly they could fix it because they just released another version that is fixed. So obviously they knew how to do it.
Fucking assholes.
It's so irritating because I do really love that game.
And that's not the only.
It's really a great game.
Yeah, Dragon Quest XI runs pretty well on the Game Pass version of it, but there's still stuttering and hitching, and some of that was prevalent in the base Dragon Quest XI when that was on PC. So, yeah, man, I don't know who's over there pulling the cranks on PC ports at Square, but they really gotta come into work and give it their all.
But they're freaking off, is what they're doing. They're fingering their own toot hole, dude, and I don't like it.
Goofing around at work.
They're goofing off at work, and I want them to stop playing their Nintendo Switch and fix the fucking computer game. I'm a nerd and I need it.
Yeah, I mean, have you started sending death threats on Twitter? Because that might get a response. I'm just saying.
No, should I do that? Should I send them really choicely worded things over the internet? Will that make them fix things for me?
Send them some really cool messages, because only really cool people
do stuff like that.
Yeah, only really, really neat, awesome, nice people do shit like that.
I consider myself a really neat, awesome, cool guy.
Yeah.
Do you think if I tell them where to shove it and how they can get a hold of these hands, if they'll give it to me?
Yeah. Do that.
Okay.
It'll turn out well, I'm sure.
Sick. Okay. Ooh, speaking of Dragon Quest Builders 2 is on sale right now. I just saw that on Steam. I was kind of looking at that game.
Hell yeah.
Anyway. Hell yeah.
Two pieces of hardware news real quick.
Two-piece news part. Two news news for you.
Two of the news.
Here's some news. Looking at news. That's my favorite part.
I'm gonna go through this quick, because this happens every fucking time we record. There's some new Switch shit, right? Mm-hmm. Apparently, they sourced a bunch of 720p screens from Samsung, OLED screens for the handheld component.
Okay, good.
It's going to be a 6.2 inch screen.
So it's the same as it is, right?
Oh, no. The Switch currently is 6.2.
Yeah.
I think they're saying this one's going to be 7.5, 7.2, so a little bit bigger or something.
Okay. Now we're talking. All right.
They're saying that the screen will be 4K, that the screen on the TV's 4K, the screen on the handheld's only going to be a 720 screen, which at that
That's
size
fine.
it doesn't
That's
matter.
fine.
Yeah, totally.
I could have
fine.
taken 1280, but 720 is fine.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that is 1280 by 720. That
I
is
wasn't
that.
going to correct you. I wanted you to keep going. I wanted you to just dig yourself a deeper hole.
I didn't, Christian, because I know
wanted it to be
resolutions.
800 by 600, but 720p will work.
I wanted to be 344 by 1440, but that's okay. What if you could just attach Joy-Cons to this fucking widescreen and just go like play with this shit? Just wild.
That'd be fucking
Actually,
cool.
they did that on what's his face. Not on that, but on what's that fucking guy's name? Not Linus Tech, Austin Evans.
okay.
They had a 4K TV that they mounted a switch to the back of, and then taped the Joy-Cons to the side of it and played it that way because they have so much money they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
God, to be a tech YouTuber, huh?
So then
You get
that's
graphics cards
happening.
for free.
Allegedly, we'll see what happens. People are still saying by the end of the year we'll hear something. I'm
They better do,
tired of
because I'm
paying
not
lip
spending my
service to
money
a
for
bunch
a
of shit.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate saving money when I don't need to.
But hey, look, new PlayStation VR controllers. That happened today. Very cool.
I was gonna say, if you have a PS5, that's tight. Get ready for these to get scalped. So, like, I don't know what to tell you. It looks cool, but get ready for them to get fucking bought. That's the same thing about a Switch Pro. Like, that sounds great, but I'm gonna have to be not sleeping for a week and a half to get a chance at fighting a bot for one.
Yeah.
So I don't have to pay whatever extreme value it is. But these look really nice. I really like the look of these controllers. They look like they feel really good. And they kind of just look like sick virtual boxing gloves, and I'm kind of in.
They're getting rid of the fucking the Move controllers. Like, it doesn't look like this thing has goofy light orbs on it.
I would say the only thing about this though that I'm not seeing is I want a hand strap. Having used the Knuckles, dude, you gotta put a hand strap on these things.
Oh yeah,
like it's.
I think just for the promotional shots they left them out.
Stupid. That's stupid. I don't like that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll be smart enough to not relive Wii bowling and your grandpa throwing the Wiimote through your fucking flat screen.
I was on Reddit the other day, as I always am every single goddamn day, because I find that Reddit makes me more happy than getting on Facebook or Instagram anymore. So I just go to Reddit. Like, it's just pleasing to my day. But there was somebody talking about that, about how shitty the Joy-Cons are, and how like people have thrown Wii controllers through TVs and they're still fine. Like, and you can't even just use the Joy-Con and it breaks, but you can fucking like that. What did they say? It was like the Wii. They kept saying that the Wii remotes are made out of Nintonium or something like that. It's some kind of like plastic that Nintendo makes, and then it was like, I think the Wii ones are actually made with Nokia alloy or something, some shit to that effect, because it was like they're just bricks that somehow keep working.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because that was always kind of the great thing about Nintendo shit, is like it's made for children to fuck up. So if you're an adult, you're pretty set. Like you can kind of just, you don't have to be as careful with it as you do everything else. But the Switch, I really do have. I treat it very gently. I mean, I treat every electronic that way, but this one. Like, even with the Switch Lite, I was more cavalier. But the actual Switch, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want it to do anything. I don't want it to fall apart.
Feel like you're holding money in your hands, because the Switch feels primo, dude. Like, it's still a great console. I really do hope that something's coming around the corner for it.
I put these bad boys on it, and these are great.
The
these
Deus Ex
really,
Machina
really
controllers.
It's the same. It's not that specific one, but it's the same thing.
Or Demon Ex Machina. I said Deus.
Yeah, Daemon Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Yeah, they feel really good though. It feels really good, and they're only like, I don't know. I think Best Buy had them for like $35. It's really good. They feel great.
Not bad.
They're just not wireless, but I sit here anyway. If I'm playing it in handheld, they're gonna be on it anyway. If I'm sitting here, it's got the Pro controller, so who cares? And I can save my Animal Crossing Joy-Cons so they don't get hurt.
Yeah, keep them in a box. So, like, keep them in the box you got them in. That's
I
what
put
I
them
would
in a black
suggest.
blocks. I put them in a black box.
Yeah.
The last plan I was on, I took it down and then I was like, sorry, this is for Joy-Cons only. I apologize. And because if you have to ship a Nintendo, it could get hurt in the interim. So I had to do that.
Yeah. I did have the dumbass thing about the FIFA thing, but I don't give a shit about it. Essentially,
Neither of us know sports good at all.
I'll just say, apparently, some EA employee was caught, giving
deflating soccer balls, letting air out of the soccer balls.
No, they were
right before
putting
the Super
rare.
Soccer.
They were putting rare players in people's accounts for money and trading in it, and it's incredibly stupid
that's
because a lot of that shit could be traced pretty easily of who did it.
100%, but I like that guy's hustle because it's because it's effectively what they're doing, but they're not giving you what you want. You know what I mean? He's the one that he's just like, hey, it's this amount for this guy, and you're like, perfect. Rather than you can give us $6,000 and maybe never get what you want, and you're like, cool, that sounds awesome. Honestly, kind of a weird hero in a way, depending upon what he was charging for this stuff.
Or the side you're on, which I don't know why you would defend EA on anything. But
I think it's illegal if you play video games to defend EA. I think honestly, you can't do it. Because there's such a, it's every year it's a new greedy little story about them, or it's another little fun excuse I don't know, the pandemic's the reason Anthem doesn't get re-released. I don't know. There's always something, just something.
Always
just
something. Yeah. You know what? There was a bunch of shit that happened, but those are the highlights, in my opinion.
I think so. I think quickly, because we got a little time, not a lot, but a little time. I'll quickly say, I'll just kind of list the stuff I've been playing for a second. But I've been very, very deep into Neo 2, the old boy ninja Diablo game.
It's fun.
It's great. It's really great.
We played
I brought
co-op.
you over. Yeah, it works really well. I'd like to do some more of that. Specifically because I need to farm some gear at my level because I changed my spec a bit. And anyway, that game is real good. I've basically been going through the gambit of games to check out widescreen support just to see it because I've never owned one. We played a lot of Outward, which we need to get back to that because it's real good.
Yeah.
That game finally clicked for us because it took me... I started that game and stopped it 5 different times just getting frustrated. But now that it clicked, it was like, oh, okay, I get what the game's doing. And I really started to like it. Mm-hmm. Also, if that game's not firing for you for some aspects, I really suggest adding the config file to the game because it allows fast traveling and it'll allow repairs and stuff too, which are repairs in that game are really expensive for the early game. That game's really hard in the beginning, which I suggest maybe once you've reached the major cities, maybe then turn it on because that's what I did. The first trip to them I think is worth seeing, but after that it's just kind of it's kind of encumbering to have to go back and forth. You might as well just turn that on at that point.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Let's see what else. Ziggurat 2 has got a bunch of updates. Yeah, Loop Hero, super super good. Just a crazy. I've always thought clickers were terrible games, but this game has finally made one that is worth playing. I think because it's not really a clicker, but it kind of is.
That's the thing.
It's an automated combat game, I guess, is the way to say it.
Yeah, every genre you can connect, you could try to connect it to. When you start talking about it, you're like, well, it's not exactly like that. But it's kind of like that. And then that's how it is for the deck building, the city building, all the management resource stuff. There's layers to that game, and I want to dive more into it.
There's a lot of tiny harmonious little genre clips added to it to make it a really unique kind of deal. Mm-hmm. And they do a really good job with it. And it's a super time suck if you want it to be, because you can really just keep looping for hours at a time, because it's mainly because it doesn't really feel like something's happening so much, and you can do other stuff while you're doing it. So it's but it is, I think, again, more involved than most other clickers, because there is really an element of you having to pay attention. Mm-hmm. But it is enough of it's very good for podcasts and other shit, or if you're watching a TV show or whatever, it's fantastic for that. There's even a mode that lets it pause after every time you get to the camp, so you can really just let it run and then go, oh, okay, I'm at this one now, and then let it go again or whatever. I also two last mentions real quick. I've been in the beta for Century Ages of Ashes, which is that dragon fighting game that they showed. I think it whatever video game announcement thing happened this year, because I think it might have been at Sony's press conference maybe,
I think
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because we haven't. It was a weird year. We didn't have an E3. We had a bunch of other weird shit. So yeah, I've been playing that. It's okay. It's got some really kind of jarring performance issues on the 6v6, which is like the main mode for the game. But I think it's going to be free to play anyway. But if they can iron those out, I think there's some pretty fun stuff to be had there. It's pretty well balanced for the most part. The capture the flag mode is pretty interesting because it's like you're flying through gates to capture the flag rather than you're holding a flag. And if you have the flag, you have to go through gates to get it rather than like just take the flag to one spot, because that would be too super easy in fast moving dragons.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Looks like it could get a little gross with the monetization stuff from what I've seen, because you can like change your rider's like shield and banner color and hilt and like the your shoulder pad and all this, and it's like your character's like this big on this dragon. So it's like, you know what I mean? It just kind of it's just for the end screen if you get play of the game or whatever, if you're the Pog. And then the last thing I've been playing is Star Renegades, which is super rad roguelike turn-based. I guess you would call it a tactics game, but it's more of a, I think it's more of a turn-based game, but basically you have two rows of people. The way that it works is there's a timeline up at the top. So sort of, I guess, like, I have never really played Chrono Trigger, but I hear it's similar to that, I guess. But basically, like, all of your enemies, it'll show you where on the timeline they'll attack, and some of your moves will push them farther down it or whatever until you, like, break them out of the loop completely or something like that.
Yeah, Octopath kind of has something like that.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like this. Oh, yeah, I guess it does have a break system. That's right, yeah. So yeah, effectively speaking, it's like you're trying to move them there, but it is very particular. Like with your, you don't like get armor all the time. You also don't get like you can only level to 10 through the course of the entire game for each character, but you end up I think with 5 characters at the end, and then your subsequent runs you can get overall buffs that you can start certain characters with. There's also like variants of each of the, like, I think there's like 12 or 14 or so characters that you can choose from, but you can only have 3 active when you start. And they all play off each other really well because you have like, everybody has shields, they have armor, and then they have health, and it's like shields always refund, health never does, except until you camp, which is like every 3 I'm going too far into this. Either way, game's really good. I'm getting really autistic with it. I just want to say a shout out to them, I guess, because I bought it on the Switch, but the Switch version, as with a lot of Switch games, does not run very well, and they have been having issues with Nintendo's very rigorous certification project for patches, or process for patches, I mean. And so they gave out, if you bought that game, you sent them a picture of your receipt, and they gave you the Steam version of that game for free, which is super rad, and more companies should do this. Honestly, every Switch game that's on Steam should just come with a Steam code.
Yeah,
suck
of
me.
course.
Because it's just, or pay $5 and get both extra something, so you make some money. But it's really like, I don't know. They should all have cross save, and they should all do that. If it's just, come on. But anyway, that's a fantasy world. But yeah, shout out to them for doing that, because that's a really cool move by them. For actually supporting their game in that fashion, and understanding that Nintendo's certification project is just crazy, and there's like a patch limit and amount and all this kind of stuff. And on top of that, I think the funniest thing about all this, like the patch processing issues for Nintendo, you also can't find the patch notes for a game on the Switch fucking anywhere. It is the craziest thing to find any information on what happened to a game. You
gotta go to a dev blog, like you gotta go to Twitter.
I've had to go to Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is like the place I can actually find that information consistently. and dig through months of stuff.
I hope with a new Switch they start to open that shit up a little more. Like I really hope.
Come on.
Yeah.
If you don't even have to do it for your own games if you don't want, but just do it for everybody. Let everybody else do it for their games because come on, please, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm getting crazy. Ooh, I saw something cool on that list. Very cool on that list.
Games for me, same shit that you were talking about, and a bunch of dumb RPGs. I started playing Final Fantasy 9. I have Bravely Default 2. Final Fantasy 15 I've been playing through. A lot of RPGs out of nowhere. And I think it's because
Yakuza Like a Dragon. Yeah, dude. Yeah. It fucked us up, and now we're both on this weird needing a good RPG fix. I will say I was playing, because it went on sale, Alliance Alive HD on the Switch. And that's a really good game. The story is pretty interesting. The combat is pretty fun. It has all those... Alliance Alive HD. But basically, like, all humans are trapped in this. It was originally a 3DS game that I think got re-released, or no, it was originally a DS game I think that got re-released on the 3DS that then got re-released on the Switch because it kept launching at bad times every time. But the game itself is good. I remember this. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool game, man. I took a whim on it right before my trip to Kentucky and played it pretty much the entire flight and have kept playing it since. It's a really...
Yeah, I'll check that out.
It's really neat. The premise is cool. It's basically the world is ran by demons and beast folk, and humans are like kind of these weird slaves, but the world is walled off in sections. So you're trying to... Basically, it's like a crew of like 6 people kind of haphazardly come together to sort of try and break through this barrier, but... Yeah, combat's really good. It's fun. It's a fun game. I like it. It's the best one I've found out of the lot so far of my search for RPGs to play at the moment, because I finally got the turn-based RPG bug I should have got when I was like 9, but now I'm having to deal with it in my 30s, which is whatever.
Hey, your 30s, I guess. It's never too late to grind. That's
true. That's true. You're right.
If we learned anything from Like a Dragon.
God, I fucking just want another Like a Dragon. That game is so goddamn good. I want the sequel.
Anyway.
We'll try and talk about that game next week, by the way, folks, at home or at wherever you...
Because we need a little time to refresh, because we were going to talk about it like the week all the shit went down.
Well, Snowstorm Week was that week, but that got fricked. Well, we were trying like 2 weeks before that, but we had some other stuff, and then Snowstorm Week hit, and kind of fucked up our whole groove for the podcast as a whole. Actually, I'll say that now that this is here. They did announce Pokemon, what was it, Diamond and Pearl remaster or Ruby and Sapphire remaster?
It's Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Those are the...
And then they announced a new Pokemon game, which looks cool, but also looks like I'm going to be let down. Like, it looks cool, but
like a PS2 game, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like... It looks like the game you asked for when you were a child, but getting it now as an adult doesn't sort of look right. Like, maybe it's just super early in development.
Yeah.
But if it's going to be stuck on this Switch that we currently have, I can already see where the limitations are starting to hit, I think. And I don't know. It looks really cool, but I think it's going to be a little not as cool as you want. Yeah. Kids are probably gonna love it, but I think us people who wanted this game all of our life, or to make Pokemon fun again for some reason, I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, it's really early to tell, but it's not looking hot out the gate.
Yeah,
but
not immediately. Neat. Very choppy that footage they showed.
Yeah, and just the world seemed really empty for the fact that you're seeing Pokemon out in the field and manually throwing balls at them. It just, I don't know. It's that game. Like I said, it's that game we always asked for, but it's the early looks of it are not what I think you would hope for out of that. Especially comparing it to all the games we've seen nowadays. Like, think if you had a Pokemon game like in the same like world style as like Horizon or some shit, or like even, I mean, Monster Hunter I think is too far off because that game is like insanely good looking. I mean, so is Horizon, but what I mean is like we have the world technology right now. Or actually, even if Dragon Quest that you've been playing, that game looks really nice. And if you could put, Pokemon on that scale, kind of look, either, I don't know. There's a lot of better options than what it looks like they're doing,
sure.
I guess we'll say.
Sure.
And I think it's like clearly aware to everyone
for
that
one of
there
the
are.
biggest earning franchises in like human history, for it to like look.
I think it's still top 5 of like all engrossing money making ever. Yeah, it's still top 5. It's more than fucking like Star Wars and a bunch of other shit. Like it's crazy how much money they make from Pokemon.
But yeah, I didn't.
Anyway.
List. Super Metroid, people love that.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy V. Didn't play. The first Final Fantasy game I played when I was a kid was 8, and I didn't like it too much. And then I didn't really get into the Final Fantasy games until much later, like my life.
I watched my cousin play 6. I think is the one, and then I had a girlfriend at the time that was playing 7, and then I tried it, but I didn't care. I'm trying it now though. I picked that up actually. That was one from this week because it was down to like I was able to get it with credit for like $3, so I was like maybe not. It seems okay. I've like spent a little time with it so far. I'm like I'm kind of in.
Yeah.
It's weird to have a game with absolutely no voice acting at all, though. That is a little strange. Actually, I say that Alliance Alive also has no voice acting, and that was a little weird. But they do a lot with the dialogue to make it feel charismatic. But there is none at all. It's very strange.
That's what I'll say about Bravely Default 2 is that the voice acting I actually like a fair amount, and it's fully voiced, like pretty much. Well,
sure.
There's parts that aren't, but for the most part, like the important story beats, they're all fully voiced.
Yeah. I mean, that as long as the majority is, I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm fine with either at this point, but again, yeah.
I have to see if Pac-Man World 2 holds up. I got to see what the. Okay, it's like a middling platformer. I actually really remember liking this game when I was a kid. I thought it was pretty fun.
I think I saw this. I've seen this cover a lot of times, but I don't think I've ever played this game.
It's a 3D platformer. It is quintessential 3D platformer.
By nowadays, I'd take a few because we didn't had really. I mean, Mario's like kind of the only one we get. Well, Hat in Time, I guess, but other than that, that's kind of all we've really gotten.
Ruby and Sapphire. That's where I stopped playing Pokemon.
That was my last one too, actually.
Sapphire was like the last one I played.
I played Ruby because I liked the monster on the front, but it wasn't. Yeah, I very distinctly remember there was a meme about it, which was even funnier to me. But there was one where it was like somebody, he's like, I remember looking at the instruction manual all the way home, and it was somebody holding a copy of Ruby, and I literally did that with my grandmother. Like I was like holding that just in the back seat, just reading through the Ruby book.
Yeah.
But that's anywho.
Hey, one of your children is on this list.
Yeah, I saw. Don't act like I didn't see it. I saw the word monster as it was scrolling up, and I knew what I was talking about.
I had
Monster
both
Hunter
of those
3
games.
is
like flipping between the two was awesome. Like going to a buddy's house, staying the night over there, playing on 3DS, and then coming home, transferring the.
So what you're trying to say is that cross save for the Switch and the PC would be cool as fuck since there's no other Nintendo console anymore. I agree. That's a great thing that you said. I totally agree with your idea. No, 3 Ultimate was great. That was like that was one of the first ones where the game started to click because I played all of the other ones previously but never quite got a handle on the game. And 3 was when I really started to like understand the fundamentals of Monster Hunter because some of their like especially the first one's really kind of hard anyway. Yeah. And the second one too, but yeah, once they started getting really once the multiplayer was more available, then they started to make a little bit more sense. Now I just play them all by myself, but they were all that was a very pivotal, I think, Monster Hunter game, and another great Wii U game. Yeah,
well, one of the few, the proud Wii U games.
One of the few. Yeah.
Yeah. Ys is on here. That's a franchise I always hear about, but I just don't care.
I started playing the Switch one, Ys the first, I think, like 3D one.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like a shipwreck pirate trying to reform an island. It's pretty decent. I mean, it's an action RPG, I guess. Like, there's not really, so far there's nothing that's been like really super captivating, but I've enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah.
And
I had to go back a couple days because Doom Eternal was on that list for a year ago, but I remember that came out at the same time as Animal Crossing.
Yeah, March 13th.
March 13th. Okay.
Yeah, that was March 13th was both of those, I believe.
Yeah, because it said like March 18th was Doom Eternal on console.
I think the PC one came first though.
Yeah, I don't know because I don't see Animal Crossing here. It's weird. I don't quite remember.
Well, there's Doom Eternal.
Yeah, that's just the Xbox One. That's what kind of threw me off. Because it's been a year since Animal Crossing came out.
March 20th.
Okay.
So it was. I think it was because Doom Eternal came out like at midnight and Animal Crossing came out.
Got it.
The next actual day.
Yep. Those two games right next to each other.
Yeah, because the PC one I think released at midnight. But either way,
dude, if we recorded this a day later, look, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, we could have brought it full fucking circle. But alas, maybe next year it'll catch up.
I'm not gonna be hurt if it doesn't. I'll tell you. Actually, that's a pretty good list though. That's Stalker, Castlevania. That was a good list right there.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's video games. This is our first week back. We apologize for being gone for so long. We'll try to have no more life-altering events in the. Oh! Last thing, pull that Fortnite video up.
Oh yeah.
Before I forget, there's a new season of Fortnite, and I just want you to give me your initial impression after this minute trailer. Because I timestamped it where it matters. You don't need volume though.
Okay, yeah. I'll turn that off. Here we go.
Go skip like another 20 seconds ahead or so. Because it's basically like the minute mark is when it starts to matter, I guess. But just watch this.
Jesus Christ. There's Sarah Connor.
Right.
Yep.
We'll keep going. Hold on. We got another.
Yeah, that's Ridley.
Ridley.
Kratos.
There's Kratos. There's Predator. And then we've got. There's Kin. Or Ryu, I guess.
Yeah, I did see this.
And then there's Master Chief. That's Deadpool got blown up right there. There's some dude. But the realization I came to, I was like, this is just the Smash Brothers of Battle Royales is what this game is. Because now, like, when I was playing the intro to this, I was Lara Croft for a second. Then I was Predator. Then I became... I don't know who the other character was. Some recognizable one, but I don't know who it was. And you can be Thanos, every Marvel character. Ant-Man's the skin right now. Like, all I'm seeing is, like, it's the Smash Brothers of Battle Royales. Because it's just all this crazy shit happening.
If Fortnite had, like, a different... I don't want to get way too into it, but I do appreciate it from afar.
I'm telling you right now, though. If you could give me some open world and or MMO style game with this catalog of assets, characters, and all this other shit you had going on, you would have one of the coolest games ever made. Yeah. And it is already that, to be honest. Like, it is already there. But if you could make it, all you got to do is add just another 20 gig download or 40 gig download to whatever your game is. Just launch me another game. Because your Save the World's not it, but it's a good foundation.
Yeah.
And you got those monster assets and everything fucking there already. The world design in this that consistently changes is awesome. Like, that's already really rad. And, again, assets out the asshole for stuff that you put in that world. just give us, god damn it, give us something cool for everybody, because that's your third pillar that you could put and make a really rad fucking game, and you got the money for it. You definitely got the money for it. God, you have so much money. Put it, just, ooh, buddy, give us it, because it could be the coolest shit ever. It makes me so frustrated. You got vehicles. You got, you can fight sharks already. There's all kinds. It just makes me so upset that there's such a cool thing just right there, boy.
Yeah. I totally
imagine
agree with
imagine if this was like more of an open world survival crafting game just set in this universe where you're just I don't know, like if you're Valheim, I'm Predator and then you're fucking Superman, and then it's like I guess at that point you're playing with Roblox, but either way, it's like, ooh, so there's some cool stuff that could be happening.
I would love to see that. I'd love to see them try something that's not a battle royale, because that's the only reason I really don't play it. I just
or that mission-based structure. Game. I want to be in this world because the world is gorgeous. Like the art of Fortnite is gorgeous. Like I can't stress it enough. It's Pixar, so I mean obviously it's just Pixar looks and aesthetics, but it looks phenomenal, and I just want them to do something else with it. Because it's right there, boy.
Yeah.
But all that being said, I bought the Alien skin because I like Alien. And
well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show.
And I played for an hour so I could become Predator. Guys, that's the show. Predator's my favorite. I really love Predator a lot. I think it's a great franchise. I like Alien a lot too also. So they got me. What I'm saying right now, they got me. And I already bought 2 gallons of Chug Jug in the fridge. And I'm going to blast 14-year-olds with it in the face. I'm going to Chug Jug them.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Don't say that right after what I said. All right, guys. We'll see y'all in the next one.
Take care.
Cool guys use guns.
Yeah.